Yes.
Tava, yours. Api also.
No. Okay.
Tavapi etarai kauravya.
Tavapi etari kauravya.
Saptaham jivitavadi.
Saptaham jivitavadi.
Upakalpaya sarvam.
Upakalpaya tatsarvam.
Parya.
Parayekam.
Tavapi tarhi kauravya.
Tavapi etarai kauravya.
Tavapi etari kauravya.
Jivitavadi.
Saptaham jivitavadi. Upakalpaya tatsarvam. Tavadyat samparayakam.
Tava.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Tavapi etarai kauravya.
Tavapi etarai kauravya.
Saptaham jivitavadi.
Saptaham jivitavadi.
Padi.
Upakalpaya
Sarvam.
Samparayakam.
Tavadyat samparayakam.
Chant.
Tavapi etarai kauravya.
Kauravya.
Saptaham jivitavadi.
Jivitavadihi.
Tavadyat samparayakam.
And
Tava. Your. Api. Also. Etarhi. Therefore. Kauravya. Upon born in the family of
Kuru.
Saptaham. 7 days.
Jivita.
Duration of life.
Life.
That's great. Avadihi.
Avadihi.
Up to the limit
Up
of
to the middle of
Upakalpaya.
Upakalpaya.
Get them performed.
Get them performed.
Tat.
Tat.
Those.
Those.
Sarvam.
Sarvam.
All.
All.
Tavat.
Tavat.
As long.
So long.
Yat.
Yat.
Vichar.
Vichar.
Samparayikam.
Samparayikam.
Rituals for the next life.
Rituals for the next life.
Maharaj Parikshit, your duration life is limited to 7 more days. So during this time, you can perform all those rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life. Maharaj Parikshit,
Maharaj Parikshit.
the duration of life
Now your duration of life
is limited.
is limited.
7 more days.
7 more days.
During this time,
So during this time,
perform
you can perform
all those rituals
all those rituals
which are needed
Which are needed
best
for the
purpose
for the best
best
purpose
purpose of
of
your
your
next
life.
life.
your next life.
Shukdev Goswami, after citing the example of Maharaj Khatwanga, prepared himself for the next life within a very short time, encouraged Maharaj Parikshit by saying that he still had 7 days at his disposal. He could easily take advantage of time to prepare himself for the next life. Indirectly, the Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit he should take shelter of the sound representation of the Lord for the 7 days still remaining in the duration of life, thus get himself liberated. In other words, everyone can best prepare himself for the next life simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam as it was recited by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. The rituals are not formal, but there is some favorable condition which are required to be carried out as instituted hereafter. So there is something more coming. Let us read that. Antakale tu purusha
Antale tu purusha.
agate gata sadvashaha
Agate gata sadvasa.
chindya asanga shastrena
Sangashastrena
ihande anuye chatam
Durande.
antakale
Antakale.
in the last stage of life
The last stage of
Last stage
life.
of life.
two part
But
purushaha
Purusha.
person
A person.
agate
Agate.
having arrived gata sadvashaha
Gata
without any fear of death.
sadvasa.
India
India.
must cut. Asanga, non-attachment,
non-attachment,
Prena,
Prena, by the weapon of
all
all
desire.
all
They,
desires.
the
They
matter of the material tabernacle,
of material
Anu,
and
pertaining,
pertaining
Ye, all
all
that,
that
Cha,
the
all
also
some them. Last stage of one's life, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death. What one must cut off all attachment to the middle body and everything pertaining to it and all desires thereof. At the last stage of one's life,
one
one
life.
should be bold enough
One should be bold enough
not to be afraid of death,
not to be afraid of death,
but one must
but one must
all attachment
cut off all
to the
attachments
body,
to the material body
everything pertaining to it,
and everything pertaining to it,
and all desires thereof.
and all desires thereof.
The foolishness of the gross material is that people think of making a permanent settlement in the world. All that is settled fact that one has to give up everything here that has been created of valuable human energy. Great statesmen, scientists, philosophers, etc., who are foolish without any information of spirit soul, think that this life of few years is only all in all. There is nothing more after death. This poor fund of knowledge, even in so-called learned circles of the world, is killing the vitality of the human energy. An awful result is being keenly felt. And yet, the foolish materialistic men do not care about what is going to happen in the next life. In the preliminary instruction of Bhagavad Gita is that one should know that the identity of the individual living entity is not lost even after the end of his present body, which is nothing but an outward dress only. As one changes an old garment, so the individual living being also changes his body, and this change of body is called death. Death is therefore a process of changing the body at the end of the duration of the present life. An intelligent person must be prepared for this and must try to have the best type of body in the next life. The best type of body is the spiritual body, which is obtained by those who go back to the kingdom of God and enter the realm of Brahma. In the second chapter of this canto, the matter will be broadly discussed. But as far as the change of body is concerned, one must prepare now for the next life. Foolish people attach more importance to present temporary life, and thus the foolish leaders make appeal to the body and body relation. The body relations extend not only to this body, also to family, wife, children, society, country, and so many other things which end at the end of life. After death, one forgets everything about the present body relations. We have a little experience of this at night when we go to sleep. While sleeping, we forget everything about this body and the body relation, although this forgetfulness is temporary situation for only a few hours. That is nothing but sleeping for a few months in order to develop another term of bodily engagement, which we are awarded by the laws of nature according to our aspiration. Therefore, one only has to change the aspiration into the case of the present body, and for this there is a need of training in the current duration of life. This training can be begun at any stage of life or even few seconds before death. But the actual procedure is for one to get to the training from the very early life, on the stage of brahmacharya, gradually progress stage of grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasa, order's life. The institution which gives us training is called varnashrama dharma, or the system of sanatana dharma, the best procedure for making human life perfect. One is therefore required to give up the attachment to family or social political life just at the age of 50 years, if not 40 years. And training in the Vanaprastha Sannyasa ashram is given for preparation for next life. Foolish method in the gap of leaders of people in general stick to family affairs without attempting to cut off relations with them. Thus they become victims of nature laws and get gross bodies again according to their work. Such foolish leaders may have some respect for people at the end of life. That doesn't mean such leaders will be immune to the natural laws in which everyone is tightly bound by hands and feet. The best thing is that everyone voluntarily give up family relation by transferring the attachment of family, society, country, everything thereof to the devotion service of the Lord. It is stated herein that one should give up all desires of family attachment. One must have a chance of better desires, otherwise there is no chance of giving up such morbid desire. Desire is a concomitant factor of the living entity. The living entity is eternal, therefore its desires which are natural for living beings are also eternal. One cannot therefore stop desiring, but the subject matter for desires can be changed. So one must develop the desire for returning home back to God, and automatically the desires for material gain Material honor, material popularity will diminish in proportion to the development of devotion service. A living being is meant for service activities, and it desires a center around such service attitude. Beginning from the top executive head of the state down to the insignificant pauper in the street, all are rendering some sort of service to the others. The perfect service attitude is only attained simply by transferring the desire of service from matter to spirit and from Saturn to God. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashati Shatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaurav Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Tavapi etarhi kauravya saptaham jivitavadihi upakalpaya tat sarvam
Sarvam
apatya samparayikam.
Tapatyatsamparadikam.
Maharaj Parikshit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 more days. So during this time, you can perform all those rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life. So peacefully is talking all this without any kind of remorse, sadness. You tell somebody, Khali 7 din bache hain, you'll also be crying, he'll also be crying. You can always look positively at things, even at this. Parikshit Maharaj is taking that I was too attached to the family affairs. So Krishna has arranged this situation where I can cut off. And here I am surrounded by sages. She will die in so many days. But here I know there are 7 days time, so I could make preparation. Say, suppose you get a notice, you have 7 days time, you should actually feel very happy. Guaranteed I have 7 days, actually a great opportunity. Therefore, Shukdev Goswami took example of Khatvanga Maharaj, who had just not even 7 minutes. And he surrendered to the Lord. The Devatas, he was fighting with the Devatas, and he asked the Devatas asked him, you want any benediction? Say, what benediction? Tell me how much time I have, because you people know all that. Devatas know. They said, you have only few minutes remaining. Oh, really? So take me to a temple. That's all. Go to temple and totally surrender himself to the Lord. So the same day, instead of looking things negatively, we should always know there is nothing lamentable in Krishna's kingdom. What is the statement? Nothing lamentable in Krishna's kingdom. And we should always see there always positive way of looking at things, and that's the only way to look. Why? Because nothing lamentable happens. Krishna doesn't allow anything sad to happen to any person. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati, and particularly for a devotee, there is no question. Even for a normal man, nothing sad ever happens. Therefore, we can always smile because we know that actually management of Krishna is perfect. Prabhupada used to say always, Krishna is managing all affairs of material and spiritual world all alone perfectly, without needing anybody's help. We want to do, we need help, please help me. Krishna doesn't need anybody's help. Without anybody's help, he is maintaining both material and spiritual world perfectly. That is Krishna. Okay, so Krishna has his desire that we come back to his lotus feet and be happy. But at the same time, he honors our freedom. So he is not forcing. Many times people say, why does Krishna force me? He doesn't do that with anybody. No gentleman does to force anybody. So Krishna encourages. So service to Krishna is actually voluntarily affair for my own good. Not that I don't recognition I am serving. No. Correct? It's my own good I am serving Krishna. It's my own. Prabhupada says, Bhagavad Gita is a necessity. It's not some luxury. It's a necessity. So my own good I am reading Bhagavad Gita. And when Parikshit Maharaj came to know there are 7 days, he thought it, thank you, Krishna. Always thank you, Krishna. You gave me 7 days notice. There was once one person, he told Krishna, please tell me when I am to die. So he was enjoying life nicely, and suddenly death came. He started complaining to Krishna, what is this? I told you, no, to remind me. So Krishna, how many reminders you want? I sent you so many, one after another. As your body is aging up, reminder was coming, 1, 2, 3. Why you say I didn't send you a reminder? I sent you enough reminders. So similarly, now 7 days time, Prabhupada says very interesting thing. What do you define as an old man? Old means about to die. Then all of us are old. Because all of us can die any moment. Isn't it? We are thinking we are young. Actually, we are old. Because there is no guarantee we are going to live one day more. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, Krishna is so kind to me. Thank you, Krishna. You are giving me 7 days. He is not crying. Just like a teacher says, I give you half an hour, but you're ready for that exam. Good student does not cry because he knows this is for his good. So first thing, learn in life this principle. Many times I heard when the doctor tells the patient, you'll not live more than 3 months or 1 month, patient becomes very sad. And all around the atmosphere is of gloom. Isn't it? Never, never, never find fault with Krishna's decision. Whatever life Krishna has planned for you, accept it cheerfully. Yes, Krishna, thank you. Then Krishna also embraces you so much love. Because he knows he makes a decision. No decision happens without us. Like yesterday we were reading Naraka. We're really wondering so much detail of Naraka. Every activity that you do, that is kept account. Kuch kaam nahi hai kya logon ke paas. Sometimes people feel like that. Nowadays people are more privacy. They don't like. Once what happened, I was just seeing some devotees' Facebook profile because somehow I went to them. He was, why you are seeing my private? That is my privacy. I said, for first thing, for a devotee, there is nothing private. His life is transparent. There's nothing to hide. Then he's not a devotee. The devotee should not have a private life. A second thing, okay, I see or not, Krishna is watching. Not only Krishna, a lot of his agents are watching. You cannot hide anything from God. But then sometimes you get wonder, why is he interested in every punya papa I do, every devotional act I do? Yes. That's even a mother really interested. Suppose you tell, I want to tell you about a child. What do you, please tell me. If you love somebody, you're very keen to know everything. Krishna says, I'm your best friend. I love you so much. Therefore, everything, Chitragupta is sitting and recording. Everything for every person. लगता है कि कुछ काम नहीं उसके पास. कुछ काम नहीं है. It is a काम given to him. Not that it doesn't have work. That's the work given to him. Record everything. Everything is being recorded. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. Everything is recorded. Only one concession is there in Kalyuga, that your negative thoughts are ignored. Other ages, even that is punishable. Kalyuga, there is one concession. You think positive, you immediately get credit. You think negative, it is ignored. Because Kalyuga people are mentally very weak. Thinking bad is uncontrollable for them. If for that you are getting punished, then it's over. Then it's over. We read few shlokas before. Parikshit Maharaj says Kalyuga is good in that way. Anything positive, you just think about it. Let me become a great servant of Krishna. I feel so much happy and so auspicious. If you think any bad thing, you are forgiven for them. If that account is taken, then everybody goes to hell. You cannot stand also in Kalyuga. So anyway, so the point is, there is privilege in Kalyuga that just by chanting, Kalau tu nama matrena pujade Bhagwan Hari. We can, Kalo dosha nide rajan, asti eka mahan guna, kirtanat eva krishnasya mukta sangha param vaje. And Kalyuga, there is one great boon. And therefore, Parikshit Maharaj left Kalipurusha. You could have killed it. Let it be there. There is a great boon. For kirtanat eva krishnasya, just by chanting the name of the Lord, we can get to go back to spiritual world. So we accept the 7 days or whatever days we have, always cheerfully. And that is what is needed. Because evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha. Unless somebody is joyful, he cannot understand Krishna. Very interesting formula. Therefore, if we can, Parikshit Maharaj sets an example. He was not sad, he was not depressed, he accepted the will. Shri Radha Govinda ki. We also saw in Bhishma Pitama case, he was not sad. Actually, he was put down into ground in a wrong way. Arjuna could have not defeated Bhishma. But he had no regret with it. Shri Radha Govinda ki, no regret. Finally, if something happens, it's the sanction of Krishna. Very peaceful. When the Pandavas come, he doesn't excuse them. See, you put me down in the wrong way, you did like this. I tell you, any one of us would have done that. Tan, tan, tan. Very peaceful. And he sees the positive light instead of seeing the negative light. He's saying, see, my Lord has come. And he offers beautiful prayers to the Lord. And Krishna asks him, direct Yudhishthira to rule. He gives with so much love and affection, beautiful instruction to the Pandavas, and they are so much blessed. So this people say think positive, but on what basis? On what basis? You cannot be foolishly thinking positive. Many people say, all they think positive. On what basis? The basis is this, that everything is under Krishna's control. Nothing negative ever happens to anybody. But then, jo hua acha hua, but aur acha ho sakta tha. That is the additional line we have to add. You see, every shop it is written, Gita Sar, very famous. In the market when you go, Gita Sar, jo hua acha hua, jo hoga acha hoga. अरे जो हुआ अच्छा हुआ और अच्छा हो सकता था, अगर जब करते तो और अच्छा होता, और जो होगा अच्छा होगा और अच्छा हो सकता है, थोड़ा गीता पढ़ लो तो और अच्छा हो सकता है. So Krishna gives more than we deserve, always. He gives more than we deserve. Krishna says, Suhridam sarvabhutana. How much you feel privileged when you know a very important person. And Krishna says, you can always rely on me. I am your best friend. I am with you as your best friend. So when somebody becomes conscious of this, become very peaceful and happy. Suhridam sarva bhutanam gyata vam shantim rachati. And he attains spiritual happiness by knowing that. So Parikshit Maharaj is getting 7-day notice, and Shukdev Goswami is saying, Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagavani Sharo Hari Shotavya Kirtavya Smartavya Ishatam Avyam. That Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma, my dear Parikshit Maharaj, what do? Bhagavan Isharo Hari, about Supreme Lord, hear about him, think about him, chant about him. If you do these things, automatically you will become liberated from all the problems of material existence. Let me see the purport if I can get some more points. There are 2 shlokas we have read today. So he says your life is limited to 7 more days, quite coolly. Even the Samika Rishi will send message to Parikshit Maharaj. You're not very disturbed. Quite coolly. Arey, there's a great danger, only your 7 days. Please take care, 7 days. He's not so worked up about death. So you take the example of Khatvanga Maharaj in this chapter. First, because Khatvanga Maharaj had a short duration and he achieved perfection. That's encouraging of Parikshit Maharaj. He can also achieve perfection of life. He follows the footsteps of Khatvanga Maharaj, and he also takes shelter of the Lord. So Prabhupada is saying, if somebody is scared of death, that means he is not bold enough. You see, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death. Suppose you're sitting in a dark room and somebody catches your hand, come with me, you panic. That is actually for normal people death. Person panics because he doesn't know where is he going. So we should have that faith. Whatever it is, I chanted the Lord's name for some time. I tried to do some service. My Lord, give me protection. I want to be at your lotus feet. Rakshamam, pahimam. That's all. I want to be under your protection. That's it. Please give me shelter. That's all a devotee desires. Shelter means 2 things, protection and maintenance. Correct? Suppose somebody says, give me shelter, 2 things you have to do now. You have to protect him, you have to give maintenance. So, Rakshamam, Pahimam. Rakshamam, Pahimam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahimam. Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama. Krishna. The Chaitanya will chant this when he used to go from one town to another town, very sweetly. So Prabhupada says we should be bold enough not to be afraid of death. All problem is because people are afraid of death. Like Kamsa also, when he becomes so wild to kill Devaki, at the time Vasudeva said yesterday night we read, why you are scared of death? He says, why you are scared of death? Death has to come anyway one day. Why you are scared of it? So that is advanced personality. Advanced personality is never scared of anything, including death. And what we should do? Slowly, gradually, we should cut attachments, metal body and everything pertaining to it and desires thereof. So we should see our desires are not limited to the desires of the body, to the plans of material enjoyment. Our desires are not limited to that. Prabhupada says people are making permanent settlement. Tadasadu manye asuravarya dehinam sada samudvignatiyam asatgrahat. Prabhupada also says people are in anxiety because you're trying to make a permanent settlement in a temporary place. When asked to give everything here, that has been created a valuable human energy. We know that's a reality. Everything will go one day. So scientists, philosophers who are Prabhupada said they are foolish without any information spirits who think that life of years only is all in all. There's nothing more after death. Nothing more after death. That's the general propaganda. This kind of statement is also spoken by Charaka Muni. What do you say? Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya kimva punaragamam bhave yavat jiva sukham jive grinam petva rinam kritva grinam pive yavat jiva sukham. As you long, you live nicely. Prabhupada says at least Charvaka was not so foolish like modern day people. He said eat ghee, not meat, not fish, not liquor. At least that much he was not foolish. It's better than a modern day atheist. They eat anything every day. He didn't say. He said eat pakwan made in ghee. Ghee is always good for your health. Yava jiva sukham jiva rinam katva grinam privet. You beg, borrow, steal, but eat food made in ghee and enjoy life. Basically enjoy life. And most part of the day is eating. So do that. Then why? Bhasmi bhutasya dehasya. Because once the body is burnt to ashes, kimva punaragaman bhavet. Who has seen anybody coming back? This Charvaka Muni. He writes sutras like this. Not easy. All these people are very tough. Modern day atheists, they don't have much. 5 minutes you can defeat them. There's not much substance. But person like him, there's sutras out of sutras you speak. And lot of logic you speak. True, Vedavyasa smashes all of them. But he was a great philosopher. So what about foolish people say? There is nothing coming back after death. Some people don't know Charvaka, they keep quoting atheism also in shlokas. We also wrote Sanskrit shloka for atheism. So in Vedas, Vedic culture, everything is there. We have the greatest atheists also of the world. We have everything. So there is nothing more after the poor fund of knowledge. Even his so-called learners are killing the vitality of human energy. And the awful result is being keenly felt. Prabhupada said the whole energy, life is gone. This poor fund of knowledge, Prabhupada's favorite word, poor fund of knowledge, that we have a life after this life, and it is very carefully you have to deal with this life. Yesterday, reading Krishna book, Prabhupada said we should be careful and fearful, always. We should be very careful, just like we are doing serving the Lord, we're doing anything, we are very careful in life. It's like you see a boy of 12, 13 years, he has that innocence. He's careful, and look at it, he's fearful. Both should be there always. Today we think advancement means I stop being fearful. That's dangerous. You should always be fearful. I can make a mistake. Did I make a mistake? What have we done? I'm sorry, did I make a mistake? Fearful. Always, because we are dealing with Supreme Lord. Sudama, when he met Krishna, he was thinking like this. When he was coming back next day after meeting Krishna. Who is Krishna? The Supreme Personality of God. Vaikuntapati, Vaikunthanatha. Who am I? An ordinary small soul. But Krishna was so kind to me. So when you know that you have service, you are in service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, you'll be very, very fearful of making any mistake. At the same time, as far as possible, you are very careful. Very nice statement. Careful and fearful. So, even life is very short. People feel that there is nothing more than death. And Prabhupada said this is killing the vitality, because once people think in that way, then they justify all sin sinful activities. See, if the life has no goal, then only we can do sinful activity. If there is goal, we'll never do anything silly. The poor founder knowledge, and yet the foolish methods do not care what is going to happen next life. People just don't bother what is going to happen. That has become the modern civilization. The preliminary Gita is that one should identify as living entity is not lost even at the end of the present body, nothing but an outer dress only. As one changes an old garment, so the individual living also changes his body, and the change of body is called death. So as a dress, it is nothing more than changing a dress. That is there a process of changing the body at the end of duration of present life. An intelligent person must be prepared for this and must try to have the best type of body next life. You should prepare. Suppose you have an examination, you should prepare. Not that you just go to examination all without preparation. What's the use? Okay? And enter the realm of Brahman. In the second chapter of this canto, matter is broadly discussed. For change of body is concerned, one prepare for now or the next life. Studying in a college, there are some fools who don't even know when the exam is coming, and they know their whole future will depend on what kind of marks they get. Is it true? Or people don't bother, as if they're going to stay in college for all the time. Suppose you pass in the college but less marks, then you have no future. That means the person was not thinking about what will happen after he passes from this college. You have to be conscious. Similarly, when we are living in the mental body, we should know every moment we are being watched, every activity will be recorded, and based on that, I'll be giving promotion or demotion. We are being watched, just like when you work in a company, job sheet is prepared, and their job, what they call, I don't know, they give a recommendation for promotion, and they write some words for you. He was doing like this, he was not doing. Everything is written. The same way, everything we are doing is being watched, and based on that, we are promoted or demoted. While sleeping, you forget everything about this body and body relation. All those is forgetfulness is temporary situation for only a few hours. Death is nothing but sleeping for a few months in order to develop another term of bodily engagement, which we are awarded by the laws of nature according to our aspiration. Therefore, one only has to change the aspiration during the course of present body. And for this, there is need of training in the current duration of life. One need only change the aspiration during the course. We have to properly change the aspirations we are having. So much aspiration we are having. This way I'll be happy. That way I'll be happy. So much anticipation I'm having. So much aspiration I'm having. Until that anticipation, aspiration is burnt out from the heart, we have to take body again and again. So suppose there is some kind of even a hope that I can be happy in somewhere in the material world, you cannot go back to spiritual. We should be convinced this place is a world of misery and unnecessarily I've come here. But still you have some hope, I can be happy in this world, and some aspiration of material enjoyment, then you have to take. Prabhupada says the aspiration have to be changed, and this requires training. And there is a need of training in the current duration of human life. So what we are doing, sadhana, what you're doing is called sadhana. Sadhana is nothing but apprentice. It's like suppose you want to join a company. They have internship or apprentice. You have to do some training, then you join the company. So sadhana is nothing but apprenticeship or training, or to that angle, ISKCON temples are apprentice centers to enter Vaikuntha. The training centers, because you have to learn how to serve Krishna. And for this training, previously was elaborate Varnashma setup was meant for this training only. Just like you go to college, not everybody is of the same capacity. So the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra were different orders at different level of training. So not everybody can take up the same level of training. At the same time, there is Varnas also going. Varna and Ashramas, Brahmachari, Gras, Vanapras, Sannyas, and Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So this was called Sanatana Dharma or Varnashram Dharma, and we explained many times, it has nothing to do with birth again. So then Varnashma or Sannyas Ashma given for, Vanapras Sannyas given for preparation for next life. Therefore, so much austerity is involved. But people proper says they stuck simply to the family. So Kali Yuga, there is no Vanas. So no Acharya also recommends we go to Vanas. But what do they recommend? They recommend that we plan to go to the spiritual world and creating a favorable situation for us, even wherever we are situated. There's no recommendation from acharyas today to go to the forest and practice spiritual life. They don't recommend. And then Prabhupada says where the change has to come. One must develop the desire for returning home back to Godhead. One must develop a desire. Not easy. That requires purification. Other desires have to calm down. Then this desire will come out. An automated desire for material gain, material honor, material popularity doesn't even purport to the development of devotion service. To take an example, you're going to America. I'm not saying you should have a desire like that, but people can relate to them. And you got permanent visa, means you will be shifting for good. Now you will want to be much disinterested in things in this world. Okay, something you're going to take it. Some politician. I'm not a part of this country very soon. So similarly, the person who has made a determination to go back to Godhead, he become indifferent to honor, dishonor in this world, to gain or loss in this world. He is not envious of anybody in this world because he's not desiring anything in this world. Why you get envious of somebody? You desire something in this world, somebody else gets. When my destination to go back to Godhead, then doesn't need it. So a living way meant for service activities and it desires are centered around such a service attitude. Okay, so most important, we should ought to develop a desire, or one must develop the desire for returning home back to God. One must do it. Not that you leave it, chalta hai. No, one must do it. And this desire to serve Krishna and go back to Godhead, actually Prabhupada is infecting us when you're reading his books. After reading Prabhupada's book, sometimes ask him, what do you want? I want to go back to God. Where we get it, we are reading Prabhupada's books, we get this. Okay, some more lines say. A living is meant for service activities. It desires the center on of service attitude, bringing top executives down when all are attending some side of service to others. So before we analyze what we should do, we should see what is our nature. And nature is to serve. Everybody is serving somebody. But the perfection of service attitude is only attained by transferring desire of service from matter to spirit, from Saturn to God. So our service attitude, when it is double-tailed to service of Krishna, that gives us peace. Any question anybody has? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we are very happy learning A, alphabetical A of Parikshit Maharaja's life. So we don't have, whatever you said, we listen. Then after certain stage, we'll ask the questions. Initially, we don't have, we know, but we cannot ask. Thanks. God blessings and your greetings and blessings to you, sir. That is what we require.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Who is online?
Mani Meghala Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Is there any possibility to hear all day the lectures in YouTube? But I'm not getting yours. It's all
3,000 are there. I have uploaded 3,000 lectures.
okay. So calm and peaceful when we hear this. But I just want to be hearing, but I don't know how to.
But what you can do, I tell you something. If you're hearing recorded ones, hear Acharya Prabhupada.
Okay.
He's a great soul. You can get Prabhupada lectures from the net. I wish I will also share in the WhatsApp groups. Lectures are all available. And, his voice is special. He's a pure devotee of Krishna. So if you can hear his lectures, I'll always, if you're hearing live, that's different. We are discussing now, we do our service, and I do it for my purification. But if you're hearing recorded, hear Prabhupada lectures. Because we cannot match. You see, I give an example. Suppose the bird is flying from one tree to another tree. That's all many birds can do. Some birds can fly miles. But Bharat Maharaj, this example is taken in Bhagavatam. Bharat Maharaj left his house at the age of quite early age. He could have ruled for some more time. It is said he looked at his kingdom as if you look at stool after passing, with total detachment. And Bhagavatam says this kind of detachment that is showed is extraordinary. Extraordinary. He was very, very advanced personality. So we are like small bird jumping from branch to branch. When Acharya Srila Prabhupada speaks, he speaks with whole power and clarity. So there is a different platform altogether. Okay, I will see whatever I have some resources. I'll see if I can share with you. Also in the net, also you get, but I'll give you the links where you can hear properly.
Prabhuji, you sent that Acharya Prabhupada's audio clipping on his kirtan. That is really resonating and mesmerizing. So I was wondering, so how it will not, it cannot touch the mind and soul. So which it really did during his visit in US. He kind of hypnotized kind of thing. All the hippies, they
He made the hippies
mesmerized.
happy. No, people say he made the hippies happy.
Any soul will be happy with his resonating voice.
Very, very powerful and very pure voice. See, we can make sound, but to make transcendental sound is not easy.
Absolutely.
Because to wake up the soul, you need transcendental sound. Soul is not affected by material sound. You need spiritual sound. And Acharya, it is said, because he's always meditating on Krishna's lotus feet, his words are very powerful. You can wake up a person who is totally uninterested spiritually. Just hearing, he wakes up. What happened? It can wake up a soul, because spiritual life is not waking up the mind, waking up the soul. But we have no power to do that. Krishna Shakti vina na hoy parivartana. So we should pray to the Lord intensely. Then your words are very powerful.
So he takes us to a different level, from the material plane to the spiritual level.
Yeah, everybody should develop a habit of reading his books, hearing his lectures, kirtan, apart from spiritual life. He is the foundation of ISKCON. He is not just a founder Acharya. He is the foundation. There are 4 reasons that we discuss in various forums now. He is the founder Acharya. Number 1, he gave the whole philosophy. Whatever you are reading, I am speaking from his philosophy. I read his purport and I am explaining based on that. Number 2, that he gave all the rules and regulations to follow. Number 3, he gave the best example as a devotee. No doubt in ISKCON, anybody, if you take an example, you take proper example. And number 4, he gave a guarantee. If you follow what I said, you'll go back to Krishna. These 4 reasons, he uniquely situated as a founder Acharya. And that's true for everybody. No? Madhvacharya is also founder at Acharya among the Madhvas in Udupi. Same 4 things he is doing. He has given the philosophy, he gave the rules, he gave the best example as a devotee. Among Madhvas, he is the best example of a devotee, no doubt. And also, 4th thing, he gave a guarantee. If you follow what I say, I'll take you to the spiritual world. Ravanacharya also did the same thing at Ranganatha place where his samadhi is there. He gave the philosophy, he gave the rules, and then he gave the best example of a devotee and a guarantee. If somebody follows it, he'll reach the Lord's feet. So Prabhupada has done so same thing actually. Therefore, he is the founder Acharya of the world. This word founder Acharya, Prabhupada did not coin, was already there in books of his Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. From there, this thing was derived, what the founder Acharya means.
Can you say the link, Prabhuji? I'll note down, because I'm not in this Bhagavatam group. I'm in the evening batch, second batch group, 7 o'clock, Bhagavad Gita batch. So,
what do you wanted to note down?
and the link, Prabhuji, lectures of Prabhupada.
I'll do that. I'll share in all the groups.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so
Prabhuji,
much.
is there any separate group for Bhagavatam? Can we join that? If we are still in the Gita or this Bhagavata, do we have a separate WhatsApp group?
No, I have not made. With so many groups will form. So I was thinking, let people stay where they are. You feel we should make a separate group for morning, 1 more extra? Is there? How many form? Then Krishna book 1 more, Chaitanya Charitamrita 1 more. I'll simply making groups.
As is convenient to you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, that will only create more confusion, many groups and all that.
Let them be there, and it will be your memory. I joined July 22nd, and that batch, it will stay the memory because group name will remain same. July 1st batch, July 22nd batch, isn't it? July 18th batch.
But these details which we discuss here, they are not shared there many a times. That is our concern. That's it.
So all these classes are going to YouTube channel. It's being recorded. So if you go to YouTube, you will see morning Bhagavatam class. You will not believe it's there. You will not have noticed actually.
Prabhuji, I was searching our old Gita classes and I didn't get. I have got the new ones.
Show you. Everything is there. So can you see this? This is my channel, which all of you have the link.
Yes, Prabhu.
And the channel, you see, this the top. This is the previous batch. Above is the batch 2. And at the end of it, batch 3 is also started. Batch 3. See right on. You can see all the short videos also. I made very nice short videos. And something which you all can see. These questions on soul, questions on God. Now Janmashtami is coming, questions on Janmashtami. Why do we celebrate Janmashtami? Today I'm having more energy. Other days, this is the third class, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Morning, 5 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 9. Third class, I'm just struggling to speak something. But Monday to Friday, I'm more fresh. Okay, Amulya ji, any question? Clear hai?
प्रभु जी बहुत आनंद आ रहा है
Hare Krishna,
आपकी
Prabhu.
बात सुन के।
अभी धीरे-धीरे सब कुछ क्लियर हो जाएगा। पूरा मतलब क्या होता है ना, एवरी क्लास रीइंफोर्सिंग होता रहता है, फिर टोटल क्लियर हो जाता है।
Prabhuji, I have a question. Now you mentioned we have to return back to the Godhead. We have to be detached. So how do we practice detachment, staying in a family life?
Yes, उदासीन हो जाइए, उदासीन, टोटल उदासीन हो जाइए। उदासीन का मतलब मालूम है?
No, Prabhuji.
जनरली क्या होता है, जैसे उम्र बढ़ती है, we should hand over the charge to the children. ठीक है, अनुदासीन हो जाइए. Just when you cross 50 years, you tell your children take care now. Day-to-day working. Some emergencies are separate because you find your son is drinking, smoking, then it's separate. Then you have to say this is not allowed. Not that I'm above 50, so I cannot speak. But overall, details everybody will do this way or that way. Do you? That's all. We should not get too much involved. And see, just like take an example. आपका examination आ रहा है. Want to become serious? You become bit of udasin, है ना? From the normal affairs, because you have to focus in. So when we are focusing on Krishna, we should become udasin about world affairs. No international का politics चल रही है. अब क्या करना है? जो होना है होने दो. हमको क्या मतलब? I'm not my intervention now. My job is done. I did my duty. Just like Bharat Maharaj, principle remains same. Details have changed. Bharat Maharaj is going to the forest because he wants to be udasin. He wants to be disconnected from day-to-day management. Why is he sitting on the forest? He can do that in house also, no? But there it will be difficult for him to become udasin. So now Kali Yuga, no Acharya recommends leaving family. They say stay with the family, but become udasin. Udasin समझ रहे? ज़्यादा अब उसमें नहीं पड़ो, अब वो उधर गया, वो उधर है, छोड़ो. अरे मेरा पोता ये कर रहा है, वो उसका पोते का बेटा वो कर रहा है, अरे नहीं छोड़ो यार उसको, करने दो. किधर you get too much involved. पोता नहीं, पोते का बेटा वो किया, उसका पोते का पोता वो किया, छोड़ो, उदासीन हो जाओ. अपना बैठ के जप करो, भागवत पढ़ो, खुश रहो. Somebody comes to you, give instruction, but It's a time now to, as we grow above 50, मेरा भी उम्र आ गया है 50 के, we should now focus on spiritual life.
Right. But
More and
Prabhuji, what about before 50? Now, suppose you have other responsibilities like children and taking care of the house and
you have to do your duties.
in-laws and parents.
Yeah, you have to do your duties very nicely. Disinterested, obligatory duty. You should do very nicely. Your interest is in heart of Krishna. When you sit in front of Krishna, he is your best friend. And he is unfailingly a best friend with heart. He loves you with all the heart. See, suppose, tell me an example. Practical bata raha hu. Suppose you love somebody. Say you call your husband 20 times in a day. He doesn't respond. Don't you get angry? I was remembering you whole day. You could have at least given one call. Don't you say like that? So when you love somebody, you also expect a reciprocation. So similarly, Krishna says, you love me because he expected reciprocation. He's also a person. He's loving you so intensely. Every moment he's thinking about you, but he can do it parallelly for everybody. That is his uniqueness. Now you can think of one person, then other person you're neglecting. But Krishna takes expansion, sits in a heart as Paramatma, and is watching all your activities. And he says, I am your best friend.
Right.
Correct. So you have to do your duties also because you have a body, material body. We have Krishna conscience doesn't make. That's what Arjuna wanted to do. Like Arjuna said, I will run away from the battlefield. Then Krishna said, don't do that. If you do that, you're setting such a bad example then, Arjuna. So you take care of your duties and responsibility. See, take example of Srila Prabhupada, the great Acharya. He was a married person. He did not leave his family and run away. No. He stayed with the family. Till 55 years, he settled up everything. And then he came to Vrindavan. He could have done it so many ways, but Acharya could have even gone away. But from his life, a lesson has come. Isn't a lesson has come?
Yes.
And
Yes.
जब बच्चे बड़े हो गए, सब कुछ settle हो गया, then he said, I have to fulfill, because his heart was burning to fulfill the desire of his guru. But he tried in the family life as much he could do. The moment children are taken care of, the family is running on its own. Why he has to be there sitting? He said, no, my mission of the guru has to be done. And his family could have done still, but wife was totally conflicting. Uska pura Gita hi jaake bhej diya. You know how much effort it takes to write a bhashya. It's not easy. It takes 1 year to write a bhashya on any Bhagavad Gita. Suppose if you know Sanskrit and you are doing it. Acharya did it. वो किताबी रद्दी में भेज दिया चाय खरीदने के लिए. How much painful it have been for him. He's trying to fulfill mission of his guru, and somebody making joke of that like that. And he was trying to preach message of Bhagavad Gita, and in the next room she will be drinking tea. For an Acharya level standard, Acharyas don't even drink tea. In ISKCON also, we don't drink tea because we don't want even slightest of intoxicant inmates. We avoid. So then his wife is making fun of the whole thing. In the next room, she was not helping him at all. Actually, wife means Ardhangini. Ardhangini for what? Not for sense gratification, for service to the Lord. We serve the Lord with 4 hands. But she was not cooperating. But he didn't say anything. His duty was there. Took care of the deity. Tried to counsel as much as possible. You cannot force anybody. Then when the time came one day when he saw his important books are all sold out for a chai, he told his wife, what do you want? You want me or you want the tea? Made her make a decision. And she jokingly said, I want tea. So he said, okay, you made the decision now. He didn't say anything. Mentally he said, you made the decision. He started packing his clothes. So he was a big businessman. He was traveling here and there. She thought he's gone for business again. He never came back. He went to Vrindavan, took sannyas, and started the mission of his guru, which was burning in his heart. But one thing you will all be shocked, which you do not know about Prabhupada, he had real intense desire to serve his guru. So Guru Bhakti ka, he was a real example. And he shook the whole world because of the blessings. He always felt like that. You see on a ship, cargo ship, and he said, the first thing he says is, I read the prayer of one day to all of you on a cargo ship.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. But before that prayer, there is one more prayer which I didn't read to you. He says that through the desire of my guru, everything is going to happen.
Well, one of the even when I was read in some book, Srila Prabhupada was traveling to US uh, before doing the kirtan in US. On the ship, he fell sick. So, but he was so sick, and people around him were very sad. So they were thinking whether he will survive or not. But he was so strong mentally, and he, he came across the difficult phase of time.
He had two heart attacks. And the third one, he said that 2 nights he had a severe pain. So he thought the third night, if it comes, I may not survive. But third night, he got a dream. Krishna is rowing his boat.
So
And he got a dream, blessing by the Lord. Because when you sincerely try to serve a great Acharya, Krishna also sees the sincerity. And then he opened his eyes. The captain said, it is shocking. I have not seen Atlantic so calm in ever. I have gone 100 times up and down. It was like lake, crystal calm. It was, and he reads and he composed beautiful prayer. Now you see, you read the prayers, you get shaken up. You see, I'm reading now. The skin is there. This is the first prayer which I didn't read that day. I emphatically say to you, brothers, you will obtain good fortune from the Supreme Lord Krishna. Only when Srimati Radharani become pleased with you. Look at it, he's writing. This is the prayer he's writing. She then is writing of his guru. She Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in a devotion to Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. He is a great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at different places throughout the whole world. By his, he's not thinking I will do it, by his strong desire. Because Guru told Gita should go all around the world. It is his strong desire. The holy name of Lord Gauranga is spread throughout all the countries of the Western world, in all the cities, towns and villages on earth, from all the oceans, seas, rivers, streams. Everyone will chant the holy name of Krishna. As a vast mercy of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu conquers all direction, a flood of transcendental ecstasy certainly covered the land. And all the sinful, miserable, living entities become happy, the Vaishnava desire is thus fulfilled. He has gone to fulfill the desire of his Guru. He said that's what he wants. I know what he wants. He wants all the sinful people of the world become happy by taking shelter of Krishna. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy or fit to do it. I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, now I am begging you for your mercy so that I become worthy, for you are the wisest and most experienced God. If you bestow your power by serving the spiritual master, one can attain the absolute truth. One life becomes successful. If that service is obtained, then it becomes happy and gets your association due to good fortune. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of association of the material desires one after another, I was gradually falling into the blind well full of snakes, following the great general. But your servant Narad Muni accepted his disciple and instructed me how to achieve the transcendental position. Therefore, first duty to service. How could I leave his service? Now, he is remembering Prahlad Maharaj's prayer when he says, when he sees Narasimha Deva, Prahlad Maharaj says, first, where is my Guru? Because he brought me. So very nice, very, very nice. The same way he said, I remember first my Guru. Oh Lord Krishna, you are my eternal companion. Forgetting you, I have suffered the kicks of Maya birth after birth. If today by chance to meet you again occurs, then I will surely be able to rejoin you. Oh, my dear friend, in your company I experience great joy once again. In the early morning, I'll wander about the covered pastures in the field, running and frolicking in the many forests of Raja. I'll roll on the ground in spiritual ecstasy. Oh, when will that day be mine? Just today, the remembrance of you came in a very nice day. Because I have great longing, I call to you. I am your eternal servant, and therefore I desire your association so much. O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no other means of success. You look at the intensity of the prayers. Can you all feel it? Intense. It's not that.
Can you please post it on in our group?
Now, what to do? I have 20 groups are there. You see?
No, two. Gita Bhagavad Gita group
Sanskrit.
1st to 18th
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
July.
The Prabhupada prayers on Jaladuta.
Prabhuji, make a separate group for this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam.
Gita group 2. Can you please post it?
No. The Bhagavatam group. We'll make a separate group for Bhagavatam.
Hey, कितना group बनाएंगे हमें? WhatsApp पे भी सब बोल रहे हैं कि एक अलग बनाओ. I will make, no problem, not an issue. But then one condition: don't leave your groups wherever you are. That will stay as a memory. And also, there are many people in that group. They are posting so many funny things. So you have to all mentor them. What all they write? Oh my God! What all they post also here and there. You see it?
So I once
Yes,
again appeal
Prabhuji.
you. Can you please
Yes,
post this?
Prabhu, that has to be controlled.
Very
Please-
interesting. See, Jaludota,
Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, you'll get.
Yes, Prabhu, that the Sanskrit
What I
slokas
will
also
do,
were written by
what I will
Prabhupada,
do
Prabhu.
actually, what I will do, I am enhancing my website. I will see that all this is in website. Our website itself, everything is there. So I can, when I go, I don't search outside. I search from our own temple website. So you can go and, okay, here is the link. Correct? That will be better or not? Because I see what is happening now. With these groups I
Yes,
finished. And I never get time to see the groups, what I write. I have to appoint maybe managers for all the groups. That is one thing. Second thing is I want to develop the website so that everything is there. Is there anybody in you who knows to work on the website? We can collect volunteers first. At least I need a team of 20 people. Nobody knows website work?
We don't know, Prabhu. That is the.
No, Prabhuji.
I'll ask in our WhatsApp groups. There are many. We'll make a team, a big team. Then we can organically develop everything. Okay, today you can type Jaluduta and Prabhupada prayers to get it.
It is very touching.
Very, very, very
The
touching.
slokas also were written by Prabhupada, Prabhu.
This he has written. He wrote many poems. People don't know.
In Sanskrit, no, Prabhu.
No, he's writing in some in Sanskrit, some in Bengali. There are two languages uses.
This right now, what we are seeing, all these are written by Prabhupada itself, and we are reading only the meaning.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, now is the family, now has his family understood his
We had a Prabhupada memorial. And that the 50th year happened when he left India on a cargo ship. So at the same place he left the 50th year in Calcutta, they did a huge celebration, very big celebration. They got 10,000 people to come and celebrate. They got so many big dignitaries to come. So in that they interviewed the son. His son was there to lead him when he was boarding the ship. So they asked the son, how did you feel? Interesting question. How did you feel? Because he was the only person who left him from the Calcutta, his son, Vrindavan Day. They asked his son, how did you feel when you saw your father going 70 years of without any money? What would be an interesting question to ask? How did you feel your father was going away on a cargo ship? So it's very nice to hear that. Really very nice. He says, I was feeling very proud.
Prabhuji, I've got that link and I posted that.
Okay,
Thank
you what you can do, all of you locate and post in your groups. That you do. At least the other people also read. That is good. Instead of asking me, you do now.
I have posted it.
That is posted in one, but people are there from 20 groups here. So I think the website will be the best solution. Because number of groups, I'm not going to stop this course. It is going on, and with all of your hard work, every time we are reaching 10,000 registrations. Correct? And it will go on now. We have 30,000 people connected. Every time we ask, they tell their friends. So at least 10,000 goes on yagna. And after at least 100 yagna, maybe some change, we change the face of earth. Correct? 10,000 into 100 is 10 lakhs. Then we made an impact. 1 billion people are got in contact with us. That's a huge number, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Definitely.
Yes,
Definitely, Prabhuji. It's a fantastic, it's an explosion of number and the devotees. And so,
No, we have also been talking to other temples also to do it, and many temples are taking the tips. How do we do? Because unlimited field is there. There are 7 billion people on Earth, correct? Unlimited. So everybody is planning. All the temples are planning. How to.
very good, Prabhuji.
Chalo, very nice. So please chant Hare Krishna. Build up your chanting. That will be your main savior. Okay? Build up as slowly, gradually, find more time and keep chanting more. I wish people like hearing Bhagavatam all chant 16 rounds every day. That will be very slowly. Shanai, Shanai, gradually. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Vacha
Krishna,
Kripa
Prabhuji.
Kripa Sindhu
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sitanam
Dana
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnava
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai, jai, jai.